South African exporters have expressed optimism after the U.S. House of Representatives approved an extension of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. The agreement officially expired at the end of September last year, leaving companies in limbo about the future of their preferential access to the U.S. market. Exporters Western Cape chairperson Terry Gale says while many exporters had been seeking new markets to avoid the impact of tariffs, the U.S. market remains an important one.
It's the easiest and the most accessible market from South Africa, from Western Cape in particular. The other markets we're looking at, obviously, we have the UAE. We still have our traditional markets of the UK, which is always going to be, which is good for us. We have the European, because we have the European, the EU, the EPA there. There's economic agreements with those, but they're not as exciting. And also we have a lot of delays in transit there. We had a lot of port delays, in particular with the weather that they've had in Europe as well. You have sometimes have congestion in London Gateway. You have congestion in the port of Rotterdam as well, which actually obviously hampers the fruit in particular because, as I said, it has a limited time of transit.
The bill leaves South Africa's ongoing eligibility open to interpretation, creating uncertainty for sectors like the automotive sector. CEO of Credo Mobility, Kriban Reddy, says the volatile relations between South Africa and the US make it difficult to plan.
I think the other sort of caveat is that there are two almost proposals around AGOA. One is in its current form, which then extends it essentially by 3 years and does give benefit to the existing countries. So there's 32 countries in total on the African continent that benefit from AGOA. However, the alternative is a 2-year extension, but with punitive measures or punitive conditions in place. And one would be, monitoring relations, as an example, between South Africa and the US.
Reddy says manufacturers cannot afford to wait and see because uncertainty is already forcing cutbacks in jobs and production. Meanwhile, Business Unity South Africa CEO Kulegane Mate has cautiously welcomed the positive signs coming out of Washington, highlighting questions around uncertainty.
We know that the bill that is going through the legislative process in the US does not exclude any country. But of course, we've heard noises coming out of Washington suggesting that we would be treated as a special case. What that results in, we don't know. We also don't know whether the renewal of AGOA would, in a sense, replace the very steep reciprocal tariffs, the regime that is in place. Remember, we have the highest tariff on the African continent, and so that is unclear. And we would really like some certainty. I mean, as you know, business requires certainty for planning and for everything.
South Africa is one of the largest exporters under AGOA, particularly the vehicle, citrus and mining sectors. Nosipho Kgatebe, SABC News, Johannesburg.